This time we got the Paldea region, the region that introduced terrestrialization, which is pretty valid. But that's not the point of this video, so here we go, 50 useless Paldea stats. In this video, only Pokemon that originate from the Paldea region will be in the count, not regional or alternative forms, unless stated otherwise. Let's just start. The two lowest special attack by a Paldean Pokemon are both bug types. The two lowest HP allocation by a Paldean Pokemon are from the same evolution line. The two highest HP allocation by a Paldean Pokemon are from the same evolution line. The two lowest attack allocation by a Paldean Pokemon are both ghost type Pokemon. Wiglet has the highest offense allocation in all of Pokemon at 75.5%. Paldea is the region with the most released dual type Pokemon and also has the highest concentration. Paldea is the region with the highest average HP stat at 77.2. Paldea also has the highest average speed stat at 75.1. Overall, Paldea has the highest average base stat of all regions at 456.6. The most commonly seen type in the Paldean region is Grass. Paldea is tied for releasing the most amount of Grass type Pokemon in a singular region, but does have the highest concentration of them. Paldea is the region with the highest concentration of Dark type Pokemon. Paldea released the most amount of Dragon types in a singular region at 14. Paldea released the most amount of Electric type Pokemon and also has the highest concentration of them. Paldea released the lowest concentration of Flying type Pokemon at only 5%. Paldea released the most amount of Ghost type Pokemon at 13, being the only region to hit double digit. Paldea has the lowest concentration of Water type Pokemon in a singular region. Paldea released the most amount of Pokemon that starts with the letter F at 10. Paldea released the most amount of Pokemon that starts with the letter I and easily has the highest concentration. Paldea is tied for releasing the most amount of Pokemon that starts with O, but does have the highest concentration. Paldea is the only region to not release a single Pokemon that begins with any of the final three letters. Gimmighoul is the worst physical sweeper in Paldea with a score of 40. Tarountula is the worst special sweeper in Paldea with a score of 49. Flittle is the worst physical tank in Paldea with a score of 65. And Nimble is the worst special tank in Paldea with a score of 46. Alright, halfway done, just letting it be known my favorite Paldean Pokemon is Koraidon. Once again, this has already been stated before and I'm just too lazy to say anything else, so yeah. Alright, halfway done, just letting you guys know my favorite fighting type is Koraidon because it has a phenomenal design, a dragon, and is strong. The average base stat by a Pokemon from the Paldea region is 457. Palafin is equal to this amount. The most commonly seen base stat in the Paldea region is 570, with 16 Pokemons having this base stat amount. These are the average stat splits of Pokemon from the Paldea region. Only Quaxwell is within 15 points of each of the categories. Likewise, only Tarountula isn't within 30 points of any of the stats. If physical stats were removed, Miraidon would have the highest base stat at 485. If physical stats were removed, Nimble and Tarountula would have the lowest base stat at 124. If special stats were removed, Koraidon would have the highest base stat at 485. If special stats were removed, Tarountula would have the lowest base stat at 141. Tinglu has the highest bulk in Paldea with a score of 360. Iron Valiant has the highest offense in Paldea with a score of 366. Tinglu and Clodsire are tied for having the largest gap between their bulk and offense scores at 150. Koraidon is the best physical sweeper in Paldea with a score of 270. Miraidon and Fluttermane are tied for being the best special sweeper in Paldea with a score of 270. Great Tusk is the best physical tank in Paldea with a score of 262. And Fluttermane is the best special tank in Paldea with a score of 270. Fluttermane has the highest sum of his best 3 stats in all of Paldea with a score of 405. Tarountula has the lowest sum of his best 3 stat at 126. Miraidon and Koraidon are tied for having the highest sum of their worst 3 stats combined at 285. Wiglet has the lowest sum of his worst 3 stats combined at 60. Wiglet has the lowest bulk in Paldea with a score of 60. Tarountula has the lowest offense in Paldea with a score of 90. Iron Valiant is the only Pokemon from the Paldea region with all of its offensive categories at triple digit. Koraidon and Miraidon are the only Pokemon from the Paldea region with all their bulk categories at triple digit. These are the average stat allocation amongst Pokemon from the Paldea region. Only Quaxly and Quaxwell are within 3 percentage points of each of the averages. Likewise, only Fluttermane and Flittle aren't within 4 percentage points of any of the categories. In fact, Fluttermane isn't within 7 percentage points of any of the stats. Yeah, those are 50 useless Paldea stats. This is probably the final 50 stat video you'll see on this channel until the next generation drops, I guess. And yeah, that's about it.